How y'all are? Welcome to this week's show. Today we're talking to Ron Eades. I said that right?
Eades, that's correct.
Yeah, okay. Ron says we can call him anything we want, just don't call him late for supper. But,
Yeah.
Sounds like something I would say.
yeah, that's it. But y'all know me, I'm Hoyt. This is
Corey.
That's it. And today we're talking to Ron. Ron's a pretty famous local musician and well known, and we admire Ron a whole lot. Sax player, does a lot of stuff. We're going to talk to him. You just give us a little bit about your background, Ron.
All righty. I was born and raised in Birmingham, and I started playing sax when I was 10. And age 15, I started playing sort of professionally with a group called Jerry Woodard and the Esquires in Birmingham. And after I graduated from school, I had an opportunity to go to the University of Alabama, but I was making more money than any college graduate, and I said, man, I don't need this. And then my band director in high school wanted me to play in the symphony orchestra. I played oboe in school.
Oh, wow.
And he needed a third oboe player, so that lasted a week. I said, look, man, I can't play all this kind of stuff, because, I like to be creative. And
Sure.
In the symphony, you just read what was before you.
Sure.
And I said, man, I can't handle this. So I left and went rocking and rolling for a while. And we left Birmingham, went around the country for a while, and ended up in Pensacola, Florida. Lived there several years. And I guess I can just go right on into my first hit record that I played on.
Yeah.
From here? Okay,
Yeah.
I will.
Which one?
Well, it was the first one. I remember it well. The rest of them, I ain't got a clue on what we did. Some of them I do. But anyway, we were in Pensacola, Florida, and met a DJ named Papa Don Schroeder. He was on the radio, and he wanted to produce some records. So he found two guys down there. The first two that he found was, and he named them James and Bobby Purify. But I don't think that was their real name.
Yeah.
One of them worked on a garbage truck, and I don't know what the other one did. But they probably bought the garbage truck after this. Anyway, we went to Muscle Shoals, and I had never heard of Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Yeah.
And he flew us up there in a plane. And we sort of went through a tornado, and I didn't know whether we was going to be alive or not.
Oh, wow.
When we got there, we had to land, and then we picked up and went on up there. And we did the session. And we had in the studio was Papa Don, and you'll know this guy, Dan Penn, wrote a lot of stuff. Dan was the engineer up there at that time.
Yeah.
So we did several songs, and the one that was the hit was I'm Your Puppet, James and Bobby.
Yeah.
And the horn players, I played tenor on it, and we had a one-armed trumpet player named Jack Peck.
Wow.
And Jack played, I still talk to him about it every other day. And Jack played trumpet on the song. And the trombone player that was on there was none other than David Hood, one of the Swampers, the bass player.
Yeah.
He played trombone, and we didn't know it. But I think that's the only time he ever played trombone again was when we cut that session.
That's awesome.
So,
What of all the people you played with it, man, Muscle Shoals? There must have been a ton through there at that time. Who sticks out in your mind?
oh my goodness. Quite a few.
Yeah.
After I did the James and Bobby thing, I went back home, and Rick Hall, one of the group left. No, there was 3 groups over there, and so Rick was trying to find a keyboard player. So he knew Barry was in there. Dan said, man, you got to get this guy up from Pensacola. So Barry went up, and after a few months, Barry called me. He said, Rick's tired of paying Memphis Horns triple scale to come down. He wants to put a horn section together. Can you come up here? I said, yeah, because I was still in Pensacola. We were just doing club scene. And so I went up there and stayed with Barry about 2-3 months until I could get established and get a horn. I played with the Fame Gang, which was Joe Arnold, Bowlegs Miller, myself, and Aaron Varnell.
Yeah.
And Rick said, can you play Barry? Well, I'd never played much Barry in my life. I said, oh, yeah. I play Barry. Hey, I wanted in, I wanted knocking on the door.
Yeah.
I wanted in.
I do that.
And I sat around there all the sessions, until for 2-3 months, because you had to do what they call paying your dues, up there.
Yeah.
So he said, well, I need a Barry player coming up it was a couple of days. So I had met the band director at Muscle Shoals High, so I went up there and I said, man, can I borrow a Barry? I need to play Barry. He said, yeah, sure, you can take it. So I took that Barry and we did the session with it. I think it was a Clarence Carter session that we did.
Clarence Carter.
Huh? Clarence Carter.
Yeah.
So, we did that session.
Yeah.
And so I bought a Barry after that.
Mm-hmm.
And started playing Barry with Fame Gang.
Yeah.
The Muscle Shoals Horns didn't come into existence until after we had our contract ran out with Capitol.
Yeah.
And we cut, oh goodness. We did a lot of stuff with the Osmonds.
Mm-hmm.
And Percy, did a bunch of stuff with Percy.
You did the opening for Donnie and Marie, the little dance they used to do. Dun, dun,
I
dun,
couldn't
dun, dun, dun.
dance. I got 2 left feet. I was always playing when everybody else was dancing. My wife said, when you going to learn how to dance? I said, I don't know. I said,
Don't really need to.
it's been 70 years. I don't think I'm going to start now. But
Yeah.
I do a little bit of dancing, not enough to hurt anybody. And they said, that poor man, he needs to go to therapy. It looks that bad. So anyway, after we did, oh gosh, I can't remember who all we had. Bobby Gentry, did Percy Pickett, Aretha. I was doing a session with Aretha one time with Dwayne Allman.
Yeah.
When Dwayne came down, Dwayne stayed with me a little bit until he could get established there. What a player.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That guy scared people. Anyway, me and Dwayne hung out a lot together. And he's the one who got Pickett to do Hey Jude.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So he said, man, Pickett, this is a good song for you. Hey Jude, the Beatles song. And Pickett said, oh, man, you redneck, you crazy. I ain't doing that song. I ain't having nothing to do with it. So Dwayne started playing a little bit, he got enthused and got Pickett into it. And everybody said, hey, man, that's it. That's your song.
Wow.
So that's how that came into existence. And Dwayne played slide. He went outside, found a beer bottle, and broke the beer bottle.
Yeah.
And then put it on his finger and did the slide work.
Dang.
Wow.
The guy was so super amazing. And then the Allman Brothers Band, we did some things with them.
Yeah.
You did.
Awesome
You played
band.
on some Delbert McClinton stuff.
I did, yeah. We did Giving It Up for Your Love
Yeah.
with Delbert. And we did that whole album. Barry Beckett produced it. And, it was awesome. Awesome album. Delbert's one of my best singers.
Sure.
I like him so much.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen him in years. He's getting old too. I looked at him and I said, man, that don't look nothing like Delbert did, because looking at it, and I said, man, he's getting old too. I think everybody, all of us are.
Yeah, sure.
But that was a trip. And
And you had long hair back then, huh?
I did. You saw pictures?
Yeah. He did too.
We're
back in the
gonna
day.
put some online now.
Are you?
Yeah.
When I moved to Muscle Shoals, there was nothing there but long-haired musicians.
I had to
or
look twice.
musicians
I'm
coming
like, is this the
in.
same guy?
and farmers. We used to almost get run over by tractors, them long-haired hippies been around there.
Yeah.
Run over 'em.
But I tell you what, y'all hang out like a hair and a biscuit. We're gonna be right back.
Thank you.
All right, well, we back. We're talking to Ron Eades. Ron was just telling some stories about Muscle Shoals, and a lot of people he's played with over 400 artists and a lot of hit records and whatnot. You started to tell us a story about Joe Cocker?
Oh, yeah. We did the album Luxury You Can Afford with Joe Cocker. They came down, and they'd done some of the rhythm tracks up in New York, and they wanted some funky horns. So Wexler said, I know where to get them. So we came to Muscle Shoals, and Joe stayed at my house for a couple of days. And one thing I remember, somebody put on Facebook that they found it It was a note that Joe left on my dining room table when he stayed with me.
Mhm.
He said, I apologize, sorry that happened. Joe Cocker. He said, had a great time, thanks. And what he did, we got a little bit inebriated, I guess, after a session.
Not Joe
Oh,
Cocker.
Chuck, okay.
Apparently we did. So
I
what
thought
happened?
y'all were little Christian schoolboys.
Yeah, what happened? He found my 22 rifle that I went snake hunting with Travis Womack with, and he got outside and he shot up my neighbor's wind duck, one of those ducks that's got the arms on it, and it flaps
Oh,
around.
wow.
He shot that thing all to pieces. He said, I think I bloody got him. And my neighbor said, I don't know who that creep is. He said, but he shot up my wind duck. You got to buy me a new wind duck. And I said, okay, I will. And that's how that note came. It's been on.
Well, y'all, we back with Ron Eades, and I was just going to ask Ron about, I know you did a lot of studio work. You played with a ton of people in the studio, but did you tour with anybody? Did you go on tour, or you just did session work? Or?
Well, we did mostly 90% session, 10% I guess would be tour. And we went out, first tour we did wasn't real short, maybe 3 or 4 days with Joe Tex when he had out Ain't Gonna Bump No More with No Big Fat Woman.
Yeah.
We did that. We played on that record, and we had 10 horns on the show. He loved a lot of horns.
Yeah.
So we did a show somewhere, and he had us behind the curtain. We were doing a song. He said, "Give me some horns." And the curtain went back. We had 10 horns, and boy, we just fired it at them. You could see their hair going back and everything. Said, whoa, what is this? But that was a great tour. And then we went out and had the pleasure to go out with Elton John
Oh, wow.
for 3.5 months. It originally was going to be 12 shows. Tower Power had been his horn section for several years while he was, when he started, I guess, and
Yeah.
went out. And they had their own thing going on. They had an album out, and they were getting ready to hit the road with that. So they told Elton they couldn't go, so he got in sort of a panic mode. But one of Elton's associates that worked for John Reed, his management company, was Jay Wexler's wife's sister. So she called Renee up and said, man, Elton needs a horn section. Jerry, have you got any idea of, you know anybody? And Jerry said, oh, don't worry, baby. I got you covered. I know of a horn section in Alabama. He said, don't worry, I'll call them. So he called us, and we were in a session. He called the studio, and we were in a session. I think I was doing an overdub. He called Muscle Shoals Horns, Jerry did. And so they got Harrison, trumpet player. And Harrison went and answered the phone and said, and I said, well, this is Jay Wexler's office calling, for Elton John. And Callaway said, I don't know no Elton John. We busy right now, can't talk. And he hung the phone up.
Elton John?
And he didn't know, we'd never heard of him. And he came back, and I said, Cap, who was that on the phone? He said, I don't know, somebody bailed Elton John. I said, fool, you better go back and get him on the phone again, see what's going on. So then Jerry called back. And he said, Elton wants y'all to do the 12 biggest shows that he's doing. And we said, okay. We worked it out, price-wise and everything. We didn't really want to go anyway. The money was good.
Yeah.
So he flew us out to L.A. At Universal Studios, where he set up. Big old place. He had a carnival out there. He had everything out there. Golly, man, it's crazy. So we'd done our homework, and Charles had done the charts and everything. So we got there around 3 o'clock, and they had getting ready to quit the rehearsal. So we met Elton in the band and everything. He said, I'm going to give y'all the songs that we're going to do. Can you be ready in 3 or 4 days? And we looked at each other and we said, when's the next rehearsal? He said, it's at 7 o'clock. And we looked at each other again and said, we'll be ready. So we knew what he was going to do. We had all the songs ready for him. So he started. And we played, I guess, 3 or 4 songs. And he got up off the piano. He said, stop! Stop! I said, stop! He came running over there to where we were. He said, "I want y'all on the whole tour. Can you work it out?" And we said, "Wow, I don't know. We'll have to find out." So we started, because we had a lot of clients that we did.
Sure,
and,
yeah.
that we had already booked. So we worked everything out. He flew us to Chicago and to Philadelphia, anywhere we had a session. During that 3.5 month period, we lost one session
Oh, wow.
Wow.
during that time.
You
And
flew
it
y'all
was
back and forth.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We flew on his private 707. John Lennon was on there.
Wow.
And the last live show that John Lennon did was in Madison Square Garden with Elton, 1974,
Mm-hmm.
before he got shot.
Yeah.
And we did that show.
Were you married at the time during all this, or?
I bought.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not hard being married and traveling.
Oh,
Is it?
it's ridiculous, yeah. So I went through several, so.
Oh.
Got a good one now, though.
Mhm.
Right, she takes care of me. I'm not
Good.
traveling anywhere. So,
Yeah.
oh,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
But musicians, when anybody got married in Muscle Shoals, they used to throw minute rice. So they said it ain't gonna get past the honeymoon.
I like that one. Minute rights. They ain't gonna last that long.
Anyway, but that was a great tour. And we went, we
Sure.
did 52 cities.
Wow.
And we were in Hawaii for 10 days, Canada. And then we flew to Europe.
Wow.
And we did some sessions with John Lennon over there.
Wow. What was that like?
And,
with
oh,
John
gosh,
Lennon?
man, incredible,
Mhm.
incredible.
Sure.
What a songwriter. I was nervous when I first met him, but he's just like anybody else was with us.
Yeah,
I
just,
mean, we just all, we're family.
Yeah.
I wished I'd have took more pictures and got, more stuff, because
Yeah.
you're not thinking, you're just making a living, at the time. I didn't know we was making any kind of history to do nothing.
yeah.
But it turned out that way. So
I noticed musicians have a bond, with each other.
they do.
Yeah.
And, well, one thing about music, you can take a piece of music and go anywhere in the world with it and have those musicians, whether you can speak English or not, and sit down with them and play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a universal
It's a
language.
universal language.
Yeah, music.
Same 7 notes, huh?
Same
Everywhere.
thing, yeah. If you run out, go get some more. Go to Walmart.
And
And then we were on tour with Leonard Skinner. We did several albums with them. And I understand they're coming to Lafayette
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
in May, I think.
The last tour here, I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to see if I can go see them. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's not but one left.
That's
Original.
Right. The guitar player, right?
Gary Rossington.
Gary Rossington, yeah.
All the rest of them passed on.
Sure.
And I think Dale Krantz, Rossington, is still back up singing with them.
Yeah.
But I was out with Skinner for 87, 88. It's the last tour I did.
Yeah.
And I was out with Leonard Skinner and Lyle Lovett
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. I
Wow.
was signed with MCA with Skinner. When Skinner wasn't out, Lyle would fly me out wherever he was. So I went around the United States 4 times, 87, 88. And I got off that tour and I said, man, guys, y'all got it. I'm done. I am done.
Can't go anymore.
No, I said, that's over for me. But, and then, I resigned from the horn section.
Yeah.
And that was, boy, they hated me for doing that,
Mm.
for sure. But I was just tired of it. And what had happened, I got really, really sick. And doctor told me I was going to die because I smoked 3 to 4 packs of cigarettes a day when I was in the studio and everything. And doctor said, you're wasting your money and my time. So there's nothing we can do for you.
Oh, wow.
So at this time, my daughter kept on me. She said, Daddy, you need to get in church. You need to find the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I don't know. I cussed her out, cussed her God out.
Oh.
And after about 6 or 8 weeks, she wanted me to go visit this little old church. So I went and visited that little old church with her, a little bitty church, maybe 30, 40 people. And I sat on the back row. I held that thing down, boy. I mean, I'd go half drunk and sit there and hold it down. And I went about 3 or 4 weeks. And then the pastor usually gave the benediction, but he decided he wanted somebody else to give it.
Yeah.
So he was at the door, and he said, he stopped me, and he said, I understand you're Ron Eades, sax player? Yes, sir. He said, won't you come and sit in and play something here at the church? And I said, well, I don't know. I might. So I went back that night, took my horn, called everybody I knew. They said, oh man, this is just something else you're doing. You need to go to mental health. You know, you're crazy. And so that night they had a guest speaker, and I got saved, and it was just like, man, everything smelled better, trees smelled better, and everything smelled better.
Yeah.
And I had a hole in my eardrum, and that was gone. I had emphysema, and that was gone. And people said, I don't believe in healing. I said, well, here I am. You can don't believe all you want to, but I can testify to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the guys kept bringing me cases of beer over to the house. You know. I said, guys, they ain't coming back. You know, I got out of that, and I said, that's it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Wow.
awesome. And you playing with Greg Martinez right now?
I am. Are we about running out of time here?
Almost, but we can keep going a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, playing with Greg Martinez tonight. He's being inducted into the Louisiana Hall of Fame at the Rockin' Bowl tonight around 9 o'clock. And we'll have the big band there. We got 3 horns playing, and I'm excited. I love horns.
Yeah. Well, we're going to come out and we're going to take some live shots of y'all and talk with y'all a little bit at the Rockin' Bowl.
Oh, man, that'd be great.
That's cool. But
We'd love to have y'all.
Y'all hang tight. We'll be right back with Ron. How y'all doing? We back with Ron Eades. He's telling us all about the music scene and a lot of fun stuff. Man, I could sit here and listen to Ron talk all day. And I talked a lot. You got any questions for Ron?
Well, I mean, you know, like Hoyt said, it's just amazing to hear the stories about all the famous musicians that Ron has worked with and how faith has played a part in your life too. And you were telling us a few minutes ago about how you played in the church band and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've almost died about 4 times.
Sure.
But until God gets ready for you, you ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I try to witness to a lot of people everywhere. I see druggies and whatever. I say, man, you can get out of that. You ain't got to do that.
Sure.
Because God loves everybody. He don't care. If we loved everybody, we wouldn't be in the shape that we're in now, this country. And so
It's true.
after I got saved, I'll tell you how this happened. Will McFarland, guitar player with Bonnie Raitt Jackson Brown Pointer Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
He got saved out in California.
Know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
Did he?
Oh,
And he
yeah.
moved to Muscle Shoals. So when I met Will, he kept on, man, you got to come to our church. You got to come to our church. I ain't going to no church, Will. You crazy. So I was helping Wayne Perkins. Wayne just got back from Rolling Stones tour.
Yeah.
So he was moving into a house. He said, man, you got to help me. So I bought a case of beer and got in my pickup truck and went over to where Wayne was moving, and we started loading stuff in. And who showed up but Will? He said, what are y'all doing? Look, I thought you was going to move. Look at you. And I said, here, McFarland, have a beer. He said, I ain't drinking no beer. But he was one that kept on me. And another one that said they were praying for me for 7 years was Huff Brothers. What's his name? Oh, man. David Huff.
Mm-hmm.
David and the Giants.
Yeah.
And they wrote one of our songs, by the way, Born to Get Down, which was a number 5 in the R&B charts. Anyway, David said he had been praying for me. A lot of people had been praying for me. And I said, man, I appreciate that. Otherwise, I'd have been gone.
Yeah.
For sure. And then a lot of musicians up there got saved, 30, 40 of them. Lenny LeBlanc, which is now a Christian artist.
Yeah.
And Michelle Pilar. And let's see, Larry Carlton, guitar player, California.
Sure.
Oh, man. Cool. You kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of folks. And we formed a group called Music. Musicians United in Service for Christ.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And we would go around on a flatbed truck into,
Sure.
low income areas and everything and talk to these drug addicts and whatever and tell them, hey, man, we know where you are. We've been there ourselves. Lord lifted us up, and we did that.
Sure.
And then when I was down here, we had a halfway house. I was down here for a couple of years in Lafayette.
Yeah.
And out of that, we got 3 or 4 pastors that come out of there preaching,
Awesome.
going around to different places now. And, we pick them up off the side of the highway and had some kids that the state couldn't do anything with.
Yeah.
And my wife and I had that halfway house for a while before I moved to Indiana to a church up there for about 20 years, sound and recording manager up there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I retired not too long ago from that, third time. And yeah, and I have COPD, but playing you can't tell it, nobody would ever know. So doctor said that being down here close to the beach, the salty air acts as a saline, and that is what keeps me going. I hadn't had hardly any problems since I've been down here.
That's great.
And I had to tell you this story.
Uh-huh.
When we was in Indiana, my wife kept hollering at me about all the medications and everything I was on. Because once you get on medications, and you're doing good, you don't want to quit.
Yeah.
So she got a flyer from the pharmacy, and she said, just look. She said, it says it treats symptoms for this and this and this, but it doesn't say it cures anything. And then you look at it, and you look at the bottom of it, and it says, could cause, liver damage, could cause this, could cause this. She said, what do you want to take that for? She said, you're not curing anything.
Yeah.
So she's an herbalist, and she got me off all my medications. So the pharmacy called one day.
But you said she's also a nurse too, right?
She is an RN, yes. She works for the United States government. So
Wow.
I'm in with the Gov.
Yeah.
Not in jail yet, And so she got me off all my medication. And 3 or 4 months after, I had to detox and everything else, I thought I was going to die. But after that, man, free and clear.
That's good, huh?
And, And so the pharmacy called.
Yeah.
And they said, we're so sorry that your husband died. And she said,
They wrote you off, huh?
excuse me, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they said, well, he must be deceased because he hadn't picked his
Medication.
medications up in 3 months. And she said, no, you want to talk to him? He's right here.
She's sitting there looking at you.
I know. She said, are you dead? I said, no. She said, well, the pharmacy thinks you are. So we got a big laugh about that.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Y'all have anything special going on now, ministry-wise or anything?
No, not right now. We're looking for a church since we got down here. We've
Yeah.
been visiting several churches, but we haven't done anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, they have
but,
a Blue Monday at the,
I'm involved in that.
yeah.
I've been, well, when I first moved down here, it's been about almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I met AJ Primo and some of the other guys. Can't remember all their names.
Mm-hmm.
But I found when I got down here, there is some of the best musicians that I've ever played with down here in the Lafayette area.
Really?
Sure.
Incredible musicians. I hadn't seen them one.
Uh-huh.
So AJ started getting me into jam sessions and, introducing me to different people and everything. And
Oh,
so, man, I've been busy doing 2 or 3 shows a week.
that's good.
I'm on the taco circuit right now. We've been
Yeah,
playing all the
sure.
agaves and different places.
The taco circuit.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
It's good.
We've talked
Yeah.
about that before on this show, and my brothers also talked about it, how there's so much talent in Louisiana, and you saying that just reiterates the fact that we're right when we say that. So it's a blessing to have you here now, and that you're a cool
Oh,
man.
thanks.
Yeah.
It's great. I started
Yeah.
working with these. First, you brought up, Hoyt, you brought up Blue Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who was it took me over there? I think AJ
Uh-huh.
took me to a Blue Monday. Sammy Parbo.
Yeah.
Sammy was, him and John got that started. So I walked in to the place. He said, you got to come over. And I walked in there and I heard Major Handy, Little Buck,
Yeah.
Reggie,
Sure.
and Lee Allen Zeno.
Yeah.
I walked in there and I listened to that. I said, man, you know how musicians are.
Oh, yeah.
I got to get up
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
I got to play. Even if it's outside, I got to go play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, well, go sign in and they'll get you up. I said, man, I can't wait. I got to get up there now.
Yeah.
He said, we can't do that. And waited a few minutes. But, man, they were cooking.
Yeah.
And then, oh, Lord have mercy. Julie Williams,
Yeah.
uh,
Tony Gula.
Tony Gula.
Yeah.
I can't remember all of them.
Yeah.
Ray, what's his name? Ray Broussard,
Mm-hmm.
and
You really can't go wrong in Louisiana. You know, like you said, it's and almost anywhere you go in
Ray
Louisiana.
Boudreaux. Ray Boudreaux's what I'm thinking of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lane Mack,
Mm-hmm.
Lance Dubrock.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord mercy.
This is
Been working with
lovely.
him. Steve Adams. I work
Yeah.
with Steve Adams quite a bit in the network.
Yeah.
Y'all got to come to New Groves because we're doing a thing with
Well, I live
St.
right there
Jude.
near the road.
Do you?
So, yeah.
The St. Jude thing at the Scott
Yeah.
Yeah.
Civic Center.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be doing that. Have 4 horns there. I'll be
Oh,
playing
that'd
Barry
be
in that
great.
show.
That'd be
my
awesome.
goodness
Yeah, you gotta let
gracious.
us
We
know
do
the
it every
date.
year.
When that's happening.
Sure.
I know the Blue Monday thing is that they're starting to do it to raise some funding for older musicians and
It
whatnot.
is. Not that I am.
Yeah. Not
But-
you. Yeah.
Oh, no, not me. That's for them old guys.
That's old
And
fellas.
yeah, for the aging musicians and musicians that don't have any insurance or anything, because
Yeah.
mostly musicians don't. I was very fortunate, I might say this, that all the session work I did, part of the money we had to match a pension fund with the AFM.
Yeah.
So I get a pension from American Federation of Musicians for
Oh,
the rest
that's
of my
great.
life.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys down here are not fortunate enough, and it is
Right.
hard. The pay scale is not what I think it ought to be. I think it ought to be a little higher because, when you're a musician, you have to study.
Yeah.
You go through all kinds of training, just like you would if you were a lawyer or a doctor or whatever.
Sure.
Full-time
And I
job.
think musicians, it's in their heart, that's what they do. I think God gave it to them to do that.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything to fall back on. It's very hard to pay for insurance since it's so hard
Right.
to get now. And if you're out of work, you're out of work and you're in trouble. A lot of them go from hand to mouth,
Sure.
And I just thank God I was so fortunate that I didn't have to do that. But I know a lot of people that do. And the Blue Monday thing really helps out because they can pay for food. If the musician gets down, can't work, gets sick, then that helps them out. And I think every town ought to be doing that to help their musicians out. What would the world be without music?
Nah, you're right.
Exactly.
What would it be?
Like you say, universal
And,
language.
a lot of people
That's
are
right.
not as fortunate as I was, but there's a lot of
Sure.
people a lot better musicians than I am.
Yeah.
And we were just very fortunate. So I found out about the Blue Monday thing. I said, I want in.
Yeah.
I want to help out. I want to do everything that we can do.
We were talking about it. We're supposed to have some episodes on that and tell
Sure.
more with some of those guys that are involved.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great
Yeah.
to get them on here. And we'll be playing February the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Will be the next Blue Monday at Rockin' Bowl.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that till March. And then they were saying that after March that we're going to start going to a lot of these theaters, one in Eunice, one in
Oh,
Crowley,
great. Yeah.
and everything else, and take the show on the road.
Yeah.
And they said, well, I want a big fancy bus. You're not going to ride me in a bread truck. I ain't.
With that all being said, we're just going to take a short pause and we'll be right back. Thank you so much.
You can Google me and find out there's.
Oh, yeah, I did.
They wanted me to update that list.
I did.
But they don't have half of them on there.
Yeah.
400.
Yeah.
At the induction banquet, we did a lot of stuff with B.B. King, Bobby Bland, all the black artists
Sure.
that Malico signed.
Yeah.
And Wolf and Tommy Couch
Uh-huh.
that owned that place. They came up and Tommy said, well, we did a little calculation before we got up here on how many
Wow.
albums that y'all had played with us. He said, you got any idea? I said, no. He said, it's not all of them, but it's just we ran out of time before we got through with our calculations. He said, we calculated 138 albums that you
Wow.
played with us in Malachi.
Yeah. Have you been to the dockside yet? Local?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I've talked with Tony Daigle.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have lunch. He's been real busy, and so have I. But he's
He's
been,
how we're supposed to have lunch and dinner
Yeah.
and breakfast and hang out and
Glad
come
we're back on the
over
show
and
now, but-
talk and
Sure. Yeah.
yeah. So
Tony Daigle.
You know,
Yeah,
Tony,
we're talking about you, man.
you got to call us, Tony.
Call us.
Yeah.
Tony's a
Yeah.
genius. He's got a lot of
Yeah.
Grammys and everything.
My cousin plays drums with the band. He runs sound with Sonny Landreth.
Oh, yeah.
Brian.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
band.
So many incredible bands down here. Just
Sure,
by
yeah.
loving mine.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about
So,
a minute ago. That's what we love about our culture. You know, it's about entertainment. And really, it's not just going to a. You know, people learn to entertain when they're growing up because when we cooking food for people and people have people over, they're entertaining. You know, so
Right.
it's got a lot to do with that too. And you know, we were all kind of taught that as kids growing up that it's important to treat your friends like family.
oh, it is. And
You know.
I have been treated like royalty since I've been down here. I can say that.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I've played with, I don't know, tons of musicians.
Sure.
Well,
And
who
they're
were
all
some-
great.
Who were some of the ones you were telling us about with the Blue Monday series? You told the
The,
young lady that was.
Greg Martinez will be at the Blue Monday coming up February the 11th.
Yeah.
And also, young lady I've been working with, JC Garan. You can go online and look up JC, I think jcandcompany.com. They'll have our new CD on there. We cut it in Muscle Shoals and Nashville.
Oh wow.
And it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great CD. She will be there along with Erica Fox, young lady from Houston. She was at the rehearsal we had the other day. I just put my horn down. I said, I got to check this out.
Yeah.
Got me a little glass of wine and sat there and enjoyed the show.
Sure.
He said, "Aren't you playing?" I said, "I'll be playing Monday night." Right now,
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Great. And I've had the pleasure of working with Greg and Steve Adams
Sure.
and Freddie Pate.
Yeah.
Freddie blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
He is so good. Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
So great
That is
musicians. Worthy of their hire.
Mm-hmm.
So all these venues raise the ante up a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys, you know, I saw a thing on Facebook. It said a musician,
Mm-hmm.
$5,000 worth of equipment,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
put it in a $500 car,
Mm-hmm.
and drive 100 miles to make $50.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said,
That really is what it's like.
that's
yeah.
about
Yeah.
about the truth. I said, somebody really
Been
had
there,
it.
done that.
Yeah, well, I have too. You know?
Yeah.
And it's
And,
even worse in Nashville. You know, you go there, you're a dime a dozen,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
they pay you nothing.
No.
You know, $25, $30, $40 a night.
And that's a shame, you know. I don't make the
Yeah.
kind of money that I did with session work or on tour or anything. But
Right.
I said, I don't see how these guys try to make a living, and a lot of them
Yeah.
try, you know,
Yeah.
want to be a full-time musician, and
Yeah.
it's hard to do down here
Especially
with
with
the
the
economy and everything else. I
Yeah.
don't see how they do it.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about passing some of that knowledge on to the younger generation, teaching some younger guys how to play or lessons?
Well,
or?
I taught for a while, and it got to where it looked like I was babysitting, and I quit.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
the students would go to sleep in my class. I said, "What am I doing this for?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I went to sleep with them. No. No, but anybody, you know, I don't know if I got anything that would help them or not, but if I do,
Yeah.
I'd certainly give it to them, you know, to
Yeah.
help them come up.
Well, I got a lot of friends who are going to be real jealous that I got to meet you today.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. I'm
My
just.
brother and my buddy Mike Broussard Jr.
Oh.
Good saxophone player.
Oh,
You know Mike?
yes, I've
Yeah.
heard of him.
Yeah.
He is great. I've seen him
Yeah.
on, tell him I want to have lunch with him sometime.
Sure, I'll let him know. Yeah.
Oh, he's great.
He's got a little studio by the house too. you
Oh,
know.
does he?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's so many. I
Yeah.
met Jason
Jason
Parfait
Parfait, yeah, another good friend
and
of mine.
Ian Smith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And new guy from Texas, Stratton Doyle. You know Stratton?
I hadn't heard of
He
him.
works over at what was it, Lafayette Music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Him and I have become good friends. Oh, he's a maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could play.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said, all these guys are a lot better than I am. I don't know what I could give them, you know,
Yeah.
but
Well, we're gonna have you back. What we're planning
Most
is
definitely.
out in the Crow Garage. We're gonna, as the show evolves, we'll have some live sessions out there with some bands. We have shots. We have interviewing, but we have
oh, good.
live music
right.
playing
Yeah.
right here in the garage and cranked
Hey,
up on.
that'll be great. Well, I'm putting in a music room over at my house
Mm-hmm.
Oh great.
in the garage.
Wonderful.
And we've had several bands out there already. They said, man, we just want to come out because we're right on the bayou.
Yeah.
We got boats and we got a big deck out there, and we're gonna have
Sure.
just
Yeah.
invite people, Chad Moe and AJ and
Yeah, we do the same thing on my mom's on the diversion canal where I live, by where I live.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we'll have a band out there and that kind of stuff. It's a blast.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love it. We just have everybody wants to come out.
Yeah.
I said, well,
yeah.
we'll come out. Maybe have a caterer because I'm gonna be playing. I ain't gonna be doing no cooking.
Yeah.
My wife does the cooking. Sometime I'll barbecue a few things, but usually I keep a shovel handy just in case I have to take it out and bury the stuff I cook. I said, if it's good cooking and y'all like it, I didn't do it.
Good thing you play a horn. Huh?
It is. Very much
Well,
so.
on that note, y'all, we're going to call it a day. I'm White,
I'm Corey.
and we're here talking with Ron Eades, having a great time. Y'all check us out. Until next time, give a hoot and a holler to a coot and a collar. Have a great day.